Gluster is, it's basically a large-scale storage system. It's a distributed storage system. When we started in 2005, one of our customers actually came to us and they told us that they wanted to build a better scale storage system, and they were asking for like 10 times faster, 10 times bigger, but they were only willing to pay 1/10 the cost. And it's not just them; across the board, everybody asked the same thing. And we found that the storage companies basically were like all legacy systems. They were still in the mainframes era, and storage was supposed to be very hard market to crack, and developing file systems were extremely difficult. It was one of the hardest problems in computer science. All we heard was discouragement. We didn't care. Entrepreneurship is all about seeing an empty glass full. Right? When these guys challenged us, it only encouraged us more that we can actually solve this problem. The interesting part was customer already paid us, and we had access to their hardware, and now we have to solve the problem. And we only had like 6 months to actually write the first version and take it to production. Everyone told us, you guys are crazy, you guys are naive. It will take 10 years to even get the basic functionality. You don't have any experience, and it did not matter. We were actually a bunch of just small, young people. And the way we see it is, when you look at the problem, right? As entrepreneurs, you believe in something that everybody else thinks it is not possible. I think that's where the fundamental difference is. It's not like everyone else is saying, hey, this is great, we should solve this problem, and there are 100 other companies doing the same thing. Now it's validated, you know if you're going to succeed. If you do this, you are get another. But most of the successful companies, if you see, they stood alone. And Naren actually told us, I see it. All great ideas are controversial in the beginning. All other VCs we spoke to, actually, we felt like we are talking to money managers, and they did not believe. And they usually bring the experts from competing like EMC, NetApp, like big storage companies, and I don't know whether it's ego or all the baggage they learned and they could not unlearn. They will just say that these guys don't have a clue what they're doing. And like other option is to fail. There's nothing else, right? But we knew it was possible. When we started, the most important part is the team, and hiring the team is going to make up everything, whether you're going to succeed or not. And it's not about getting the brightest engineers who are already successful at Google or Facebook and EMC and NetApp. In fact, in storage space, when we looked at in every way, not just in sales and marketing and engineering, like every key hire, when we looked at these companies, we saw that they came up with a lot of baggage. They were telling us why it is not possible. They were not telling us how they can make it possible. And we realized that was useless. And when we got these young smart guys who were hacking with me in my other free software open source projects, they found this was an exciting problem to solve. And these guys are like fresh out of college, 1 year experience. They were basically like sending patches to my other open source projects in their free time. And the daytime they're working for a proprietary software company. There was one cause that we all got united. Right? It was that they were passionate about this problem, and they were passionate about open source. It's not about like if you just get a bunch of smart people, you just cannot build a great team. It's about uniting for one cause, right? You cannot win a war with just a bunch of mercenaries. But if you have one cause, it only takes one guy to create a revolution. But with one guy and a small team of passionate people, you can beat any big team if you want. And with that, like 2005, we actually wrote. 2006, we wrote the file system. We released it. We ourselves did not know how big it was, but we knew that the problem was pretty significant. And all over the world, they got that option. And like in 2006, 2007, we started getting a lot of business from the community. Almost all of our business came from the community. Our community were like not like hackers and hobbyists. These were big, high-profile customers like Deutsche Bank, big names like Pandora Internet Radio. I don't know if you're aware of. I have been using them for quite some time. I did not know they were using Gluster. Like Box.net, even the top CDNs like Limelight, Rightco, video content like Netflix and Voodoo were actually stored on Gluster and streamed. We were impacting a lot of user base without we knowing or they knowing. And in end of 2007, we realized we are a storage company, and there was no stopping. But until then, we were just bootstrapped, very small. We almost have to rack mount our engineers, like there was no space in the office. and if you see, for a long time, right, being an entrepreneur is like when I tell my relatives, I'm doing what are you doing? I'm telling them I'm doing my own business. They almost think I'm jobless. But those things are changing now, and now we see that a lot of people coming back from the US and bringing that spirit, and opportunities are also getting created. We with a small, even the team we were able to bring in, there was no compelling reason other than that passionate, that one passion we had, one dream we had. It was the cost that kept them with us. They were telling us that let's not worry about going to new office. It's okay, we'll somehow manage. We even had to have some engineers work from home, like shift. They were just like, most of them were not even going home. Some of them had to sleep in the data center because it was less noisy there. And data center is just another small hole in the wall. Those times, that's the best time that we live to tell a story, right? And those exciting days, that they were telling us, let's not move to a new office, let's save money. Usually, you'll find when you hire engineers, they always are it's about big office facility, big company. I want to tell my mother that I work for IBM, I work for Google. Those are the guys that they're completely misfit. You'll never be able to afford someone else. If they're very smart, you will always find some other company willing to even double their salary. You just cannot go on a war matching it, right? But if you got them with a cause that they believe in it, you will never lose them. Till today, we have lost only one engineer, and he was the junior most. And guess what he did? He went to launch his own company. In 2007, when we realized we can build, this is a huge opportunity. Until then, it was just a dream that it was possible. It was an impossible computer science problem that we solved. But when we realized we are a storage company, we realized this is a huge business opportunity. And from there on, the window was like this, basically closing. It's not just about solving the problem. If you want to succeed, it's about creating a successful business around it. And it was very clear that angel funding and self-sustaining, slow organic growth is not going to help us. And it was very clear we had to go to VCs. In fact, we seek VCs just to get advice, but they were telling us, you guys are ready for venture funding. But we wanted smart money. Like Nexus, that was the best decision we made. That more than the money they gave us, Naren's and Vishnu's time was a lot more valuable. Like my wife tells Vishnu is my second wife. I can call him anytime, middle of the night. All the time we meet and we spend a lot of time, hours and hours sitting in Starbucks. The time is the most valuable part, guiding in every step. I was naive. I was not an entrepreneur at all. That was the last thing I wanted to do. As engineers, right? We want to solve problems, and we are excited about solving problems. But as business, when it came to business, then I started seeing business is also just problems. Everything you see is just problems, and you solve it with common sense. And the one thing that differentiated us was its common sense. You don't need to go. If you did not have experience, you're not from Stanford or any big business schools, it doesn't matter. What it took was common sense, how to get to the end goal. And in fact, it allowed us to be lean, mean. We didn't care about what others thought. The very first office was Starbucks. And Starbucks still, for a long time, it was our conference room too. But we turned our bedroom to data center and head office. And the customers did not care. We had even a crappy website. All I could type from a dark console in Emacs. But customers were giving us business because it was a compelling story. It was a real product that they could use, and it made a difference for them. And from 2007, 2008, 2008 onwards, the venture funding, we were growing like crazy. At some point, we started seeing we were getting offers from others. was the right time for us to, because the window was closing. What we needed was that big name branding. Storage is one last piece in the enterprise ecosystem that has to be commoditized. The most important point I want to tell is enterprise software. I came from system. I was solving system software problems. Previously, I was in the supercomputing space. Computing was commoditized. Then storage was the next big problem. Storage is commoditized. Networking is happening, but there are some challenges there too. But enterprise ecosystem is rapidly getting commoditized, where the real value is in the application space. What we need to realize is that cloud, social networking, all this for some time we thought it was hype, but it is now real. Like bunch of engineers today can do one thing better than Google or Facebook. You see, what's the big value Facebook or Google got? It's really their scalable infrastructure. It's not in the social networking interface or anything, right? Today, with the cloud, that scalable infrastructure has been commoditized. Today, even if you try to build a scalable infrastructure, you are wasting your valuable investment on scalable infrastructure, which is not your value at all. With the cloud giving you that platform, if you developed a viral application that has huge use case, huge audience, you can scale overnight. Even if cloud is more expensive than building your own data center, you should realize the cost of operations, running people, hiring, you're losing that opportunity cost. You don't want to do that. There's no value in that at all. And with the cloud giving you that platform that with very low cost, like with very small investment, sitting in your bedroom or in your garage, just 3-4 guys, you can develop a great killer application. But even the desktop side, right, traditional model is to write a Windows application. But now with iOS and like Android like platforms, tablets picking up, clearly Windows is getting displaced on the desktop side. It became very easy to write your app on the cloud, run the application on the cloud, and you don't have to worry about the scalable infrastructure, scalable components. You no longer buy Oracle database, all these enterprise like WebLogic and all those expensive components. Everything is there ready-made, and you just pick your favorite language. It's really in the value of the application and how you can get it to a large audience. There are other parts to the in terms of helping there, but I'll come to that soon. With the cloud ecosystem, the app is running on the cloud, and simple delivery mechanism where the front-end devices are tablets and mobile phones. Almost more than 50% of internet traffic is now coming from these devices. It is pretty significant. Maybe we are not experiencing in India, but you can see, like if you're seeing the US, you can see a huge amount. Like people are now finding it comfortable to use their tablets for their day-to-day use, from email to everything else. That's becoming a clear platform for the future. With a low-cost, scalable infrastructure, like you can imagine 5 to 10 years, what Google has as their value today will become their baggage. You can now launch one application, and you're challenging Google, but you can now add features at a much faster pace and at a low cost. Google cannot move as fast as you can. And that's your real killer advantage. And how you are going to grow as fast as you can, it's really the social networking. Social networking is not just about friends connected, but such a connected platform has given ways for people like us to launch our application or develop new creative applications on top of them and get that adoption we want. With the Salesforce and Sugar Serum like companies, your sales process has become simple too. You no longer need SAP and other expensive systems. During the sales part, traditionally you need to spend a lot of money on big sales team. You don't need to do that now. But also the traditional model is dying. You no longer have to have sales guys playing golf with CEOs of these big companies. It's about huge adoption, volume business. Once you have to become number one. There's no point in becoming number 3, number 4. To get that, the social networking like platform and cloud like ecosystem, today with a small investment, few guys getting together can launch killer apps. And you don't have to be in the US to do that. You can now do that from anywhere in the world. And India is pretty unique here. We have a huge talent pool, and then all these experienced are coming back to India. It's a great time for us. Next 5 years it's going to create a revolution in the application space. I'm actually very excited to see the next 5 years how it's going to pan out. And open source is also another important factor here. But for us, we used it as a clear business strategy. It helped us build a passionate team. And two, it was like, if you see our community, right? We may be a small team, but combined with our community, we are larger than EMC or NetApp. The kind of the infrastructure that these guys bring to us. Most of our code, we actually wrote it on customer hardware and customer time. They paid us to develop features. Every feature we wrote, there were a few customers backing it. And now, with a huge amount of like various kinds of hardware, operating system environment, application environment, they are giving us feedback how to improve features, what bugs they found, even they sending us features. We were more capable than EMC or NetApp, and today that environment is there. We have to take full advantage of it.
Thank you.